All right, let's talk about a number. And no, it's not $1 million, it's not even 100,000. I'm talking about a number that can completely rewire your life, your stress, your future, everything. That number? It's $10,000. And just understanding what it represents, well, that's the first real step you take to get back in the driver's seat of your own life. So look at this question. Really look at it. This isn't me attacking you. Think of it more like a diagnosis, right? If money decides your mood, if it dictates the choices you make, if it's the reason you can't sleep at night, then let's be honest, you're not in control. Not at all. You're being controlled. And it's about time we did something about that.
You know this feeling, don't you? It's 3 a.m., you're staring at the ceiling, and it's like a movie is playing of every single thing that could possibly go wrong. That car repair you know you can't afford, a medical bill that comes out of nowhere, the constant nagging fear that you could lose your job tomorrow. That right there, that is the mental prison you live in when you have no financial buffer.
Look, this isn't about having a tough month here and there. This is a cycle. It's a trap, a constant loop where you earn money only to watch it vanish, and then you're right back at square one. Always on edge, just waiting for the next thing to go wrong. Well, that's the cycle we're here to talk about breaking. When you're stuck in this cycle, your whole life just becomes a series of painful calculations. You know what I mean. You're at the grocery store and you're not picking what you want. You're weighing the name brand against the generic. Your friends ask you to go out, and instead of getting excited, your brain is just crunching the numbers. You're not really living. You're just playing defense, trying to hold on until the next paycheck hits. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's pivot and talk about the solution. And listen, the turning point, it's not getting some new fancy job or winning the lottery. It's a specific, achievable goal. A milestone that unlocks something incredibly powerful. Real psychological freedom.
$10,000. Now, this isn't just some number I pulled out of thin air. It is a very specific, very significant amount, both mathematically and psychologically. Why? Because it's enough money to handle almost all of life's common emergencies. It basically makes you immune to the everyday financial hiccups that completely derail most people.
This is where most people get it completely wrong. They think saving money is all about buying stuff down the line. A fancy car, a bigger house. That's the myth. The reality? It's so much more powerful than that. Money, especially this first big chunk of savings, it's not for buying things. It's for buying freedom. Freedom from worry. Freedom from a job you hate. The freedom to actually make your own choices. And you know, the craziest part is, the biggest change that happens when you hit this goal, it's not what you see in your bank account. It's what happens inside your head. You are literally rewiring your brain. You start operating from a place of control instead of a place of constant fear. This is such a crucial concept to grasp. It's called the emergency fund effect. And here's the secret. The real power of this money doesn't come from spending it. It comes from just knowing that it's there. Just the knowledge that you have a safety net. It changes every single decision you make. It gives you this quiet confidence that just follows you around. And listen, this isn't just some power of positive thinking stuff. It's biology. It's real. Scientists have actually found that financial security lowers the amount of cortisol in your body. That's your main stress hormone. So having savings doesn't just make you feel less stressed, it literally makes your body physiologically less stressed. And what does that mean? You think clearer. You sleep better. You just live better. Here's a perfect way to think about the shift. Before you have savings, that check engine light on your dashboard, that's a full-blown panic attack. It's a disaster. It means a bill you have no way to pay. But with 10 grand in the bank, that same light is just an annoyance. It's just something on your to-do list. It's something to handle, not something that's going to destroy your life. So we've talked about the internal shift, what happens in your head. Now let's talk about the external, how this changes the way you actually deal with real-world problems. And the answer is, it changes everything, completely. Just take a second and look at this. On the left, you've got the emergency. In the middle, that's your response without savings. Pure panic, debt, fear, just desperation. But now look at that column on the right. With 10 grand saved up, every single one of those crises gets downgraded. A car repair? It's an annoyance you take action on. A job loss? It's not the end of the world. It's a strategic decision. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and you start being the one in charge.
And here's the thing, this money isn't just for playing defense. It lets you go on offense. All of a sudden, that $2,000 certification that could get you a raise, it's not a crazy expense, it's an obvious investment. You can walk into your boss's office and negotiate for a better salary with confidence because you're not desperate. You can be picky about your next job. Suddenly, you have options, real options, that just weren't there before.
Have you ever heard of decision fatigue? It's a real thing. Every single day, you're making thousands of tiny, stressful calculations about what you can and can't afford. It's exhausting. It drains your mental energy. But with a savings buffer? Poof! 90% of those decisions just disappear. And all that mental energy you get back, you can finally use it for what really matters, thinking about the future, making strategic moves.
So, the big question is, how do you actually get there? Well, the secret, it's not some magic budgeting app, it's not some clever financial trick, it's a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. It's about forging a completely new identity.
A lot of people treat saving money like a crash diet, you know? They go super hardcore for a couple of months, they get totally burnt out, and then they snap right back to their old habits. That approach is doomed to fail, every time. The only way this works is if you stop trying to save and you start being a person who saves. It has to become a part of who you are.
The good news is, the path is actually pretty straightforward. Just follow these steps. 1. Start small. I'm serious, even $50 a month is a start. The amount doesn't matter at first. 2. Build the habit. Consistency is way more important than the amount. 3. Automate it. Set it up so the money moves without you even thinking about it. And finally, 4. As you get used to it, you slowly increase the amount. Trust me, the first $1,000 is the hardest part. After that, you get momentum on your side.
And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have the money for this, I want you to think again. Seriously, the average person spends over $3,000 a year on little things. Coffee, eating out, random convenience buys. The money is there. For most of us, it's already there. It's just a matter of deciding to point it in a different direction.
And this, right here, is the most important point of all. The person you become while you're saving that first $10,000, that's the real prize. The discipline you learn, the patience, the ability to think ahead, that is what's truly valuable. The money is just the proof that you've changed. You become a different person, a stronger, more capable, more forward-thinking person.
So once that foundation is built, the entire question of your life changes. It stops being how am I going to survive, and it becomes, okay, what do I want to build? See, this milestone isn't the finish line, not even close. It's the starting line for true financial independence.
Like, share, subscribe to The Wise Cut, and comment your views.